welcome to the Margin Mindset episode today. We're here at NACS 2025 with Babir Sultan here. Babir, tell us about yourself here.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be at NACS again. My name is Babir Sultan. I'm with the Fave Trip convenience stores and gas stations down in the Midwest of Kansas City, Missouri. We're a small chain of convenience stores that likes to have fun and operate a business too.
Awesome. So I know you're a small chain and people assume NACS is catered to the large chains. So let me ask you, what is the biggest difference that separates a small chains, whether it's 2 to 5 locations versus a large chain enterprise that's in the hundreds, if not thousands?
Yeah. Let me first address, NACS is definitely not just for the big boys, all right? I've been coming here for many years. There's so many great things that come out of the NACS show that we learned over the years that we implemented in our store that made a difference. What differentiates a small operator from a larger one, besides the store number count, which I think is a lot of people define that, I think is really the thinking of the operator individual. If they think of themselves as a small operator, they're going to behave like a small operator. Yeah. Me, over the years, we've been blessed enough to have 20 million followers online monthly.
Wow.
A lot of people think we're some big chain and we get offered to franchise in Germany and Mexico. I'm flattered, but that's because our team doesn't think small. We involve ourselves in many different things, and we'll talk about that too. But it doesn't hold us back because we lack the number of stores. I think it's the mindset of the individual thinking. So do not think of yourself as a small chain.
What about agility? How does agility play a factor into the large versus medium, small size chains?
What do you mean in particular when it comes
to the agility of adapting with technology?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of hesitation for small stores. And I had 2 talks, not one, at NACS this year about if you're a small operator, understanding where you are with technology and adopting things that make a difference in your store. A lot of times, small operators, even larger ones, to my surprise too, to be honest with you, when I talk to larger operators, it comes down to the people that are running the day-to-day. If they're not willing to adopt into new technologies to solve their problems, because it really comes down to problem first, not the tool, and being able to adopt to that technology and doing that. So I don't think it's limited to small operators. It's larger ones as well. And I think breaking that hesitation that you really got to dive in. And if you're not the right guy as me, as the owner, get somebody that is. Yeah. Hire somebody. Go to your local university. You'll be amazed at how many local university partnerships we done locally. And then we went to MIT now. It doesn't hold us back. Imagine a small operator from the Midwest going to MIT to solve this problem, right? Our next is Harvard business. Right? So that's where we're going to keep going forward. But I think, again, if you're not the right guy to adopt into this technology, you find it intimidating, find the right people that would do it for you.
You speak about Harvard and MIT. Just want to put a plug. I'm a Longhorn, so you need to come down to Austin for your tea. But speaking on, I know you had 2 speaker sessions this year. We just came from the one about using AI to implement in your store. So what are some ways that you have implemented AI into your workflows already?
Yeah. Over the years, one thing I always tell operators, tackle one project at a time.
Yeah.
A lot of them, if they hire an intern, they want them to solve the world problems, right? Hunger problems, everything, nothing's off limit. So we tell them start with one problem at a time. For us, things like shoplifting was a problem. So we started tackling that using AI. And we have a lot of funny videos online for you guys to check out. Things like with Modisoft, I'll give you an actual practical example, which I use in my presentation, was one, we didn't have access to our own data. If you're a small operator, getting access to your own data, surprisingly, many years ago, wasn't thought of at the time. They come along and we get access. We started using Excel files, if you guys still remember Excel files. And then we get into, hey, we could use Tableau, Power BI, but communicating with you guys. And then the next big thing we thought we're very fancy, we're using ChatGPT, AI, to solve our, dashboarding problems because we're, utilizing that. You guys tell us, hey, we have internal software that can answer those questions. So that's been a great relief for our staff. And if you're an operator, time is money. If something you value really is your time, you can't save enough time. So imagine the transition from Excel files to Power BI and dumping it into ChatGPT. Now, just within that software, asking questions. What are my top 10 SKU? What is the time I'm selling the most energy drinks, right? Making decisions and making your operation and your staff's life easier is a game changer for us.
To add to that, right, using an internal assistant like Sunny, how do you go about addressing these problems with vendors?
Yeah, I think communicating with your vendor, and Nax is a beautiful place to find those vendor. It surprises me throughout the year we can ever get to the right person for a particular question. And Nax, I think it narrows it down. There's no more hiding. Okay, bring your problems to Nax, and your vendor and supplier is here. Just not limited to software, which is what you guys do, but also your pump issues. I was literally talking to some of our point of sale people. Like, this is what our tech is saying. We need to spend X amount of dollar. Do we really need to do that? I talk to you guys. What can you offer, right?
Yeah.
Solve your problem, talk to your vendor, and this is the perfect spot for that.
And to add to that, like, we have conversation all the time. We love hearing customers like you come to us and say, we have this issue, help us solve it, because then that is what drives our product roadmap. I think in today's age, AI is put on everything, slapped on everything, but is it really needed to be on every single thing, or do you need to do it for something small, right?
I call it's almost the opposite effect, where a lot of people get excited about an AI tool.
Yeah.
You got to be problem focused first, and then figure out what tool you're going to use, right? Just because Google released Nano Banana doesn't mean I need to go all diving in, making thumbnails
Nano Banana
for all our videos. What a name, right? So a lot of people, AI is getting slapped around so much. As operators, we really need to stay focused and not have the squirrel effect, I call it, right?
Yeah.
Every time a new tool comes out, or this software or this vendor is releasing this, you always trade your time, right? There's a trade-off for everything that you're not doing. So as operators, we really got to be strategic with our time, energy, and money when it comes to these AI tools. Come in with problem focus when it comes to AI tools.
You've been to Nax for multiple years. You're on the board of directors, the committees. How did you how as a small operator, but that thing's big, make your way to surround yourself with people that are much larger than you?
Yeah.
So what have you done to inspire?
Yeah.
Because I know one big thing that our customers tell us is they're not going to talk to us because we don't have enough locations. But on the way here from the other side, you got stopped by Cormart, probably an executive level, stopped. And how'd you do that?
Well, that's the beauty of Nax, right?
Yeah.
Connecting with the right folks here. But I have to give a shout out to Lonnie, who introduced me. He encouraged me to join the board. I was the exact same thinking.
Yeah.
Back to what we said earlier, the small mindset of me on the board of Nax, sitting among CFO of 7-Eleven, Circle K, and these big guys. Like, I feel intimidated. Now we have lunch together and we talk on the phone for smaller or bigger or just casually, right?
Yeah.
So I think I had to get out of that mindset, and I appreciate Lonnie telling me that, hey man, it's not bad. It's a good thing that you would do this and learn from it. And honestly, seeing them there and learning from them has been a game changer for us. We honestly do not think small at all when it comes to whether it's small, scale of stores or operationally. So we're doing things with our internal stores at an AI level that some of these big operators are not. But having that relation with them is hey, I see what you're doing. Maybe we could work on this together. And I was like, great, let's solve each other's problem. But I also have this problem. Can you help me with my HR side of things? What do you do for that? So we always make each other better with that. So it's been amazing to do that. And I can't be more thankful.
So as you've grown, right, what are operational challenges that have surprised you? Like, whoa, I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, for me, I think the culture is something new that we're dabbling into now as well. Company culture, having a place that people want to work at is like, you can't just expect people to get excited to work at a convenience store, really defining who you are and what you're not. I'm not the Google or the Amazon of the world.
Yeah.
I can't give you beanie bags and ping pong tables, but what I can give you and be very clear on what we are. And I think our employees coming into that and having a positive culture and being on top of it. And again, leveraging AI for that, whether it's audio, video, and talking to your staff, like weekly shout outs. How do you leverage AI and recognize, especially when you're dealing with 50 some employees? When it's small, one store operator, you go and you know the staff. the morning maybe, don't know the afternoon people what they're doing, right? So being more hands-on with that. If culture is important, but if it wasn't more important, it's more important than ever. Like, I don't want to work for a company that two people you spend the most time with, I learned, is your partner in life, your significant other, and your coworkers.
Yes.
So do not work for a-holes. Hopefully I can say that.
Yeah.
There.
It makes
because
sense.
you're going to spend a lot of your time with them. So be very strategic of who you spend. And we adopt that at our store. We tell our staff, sometimes a lot of companies say you're not the right fit for us. We tell them we might not be the right fit for you either. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
And we tell them, we encourage them to leave and take the pay the same day and leave. And that's been a game changer.
So let me actually ask you this, right? This is a great segue, right? What are things that you, as a large enterprises, what they do is they're paying at a higher salary rate. They're giving a lot more benefits than a small operator like you, because that would add a lot of overhead. For a business like you, what benefits or what are you doing to enhance your company culture? Because turnover is a massive problem in the C-store industry, right?
Yeah.
Especially with smaller chains.
Yeah.
So what are steps that you have taken to do that?
Yeah. For us, again, one-on-one time, recognizing, just like with our social media, we're heavy focus on a customer persona, right?
Yeah.
These are the customer age group they're watching. You need to have one for your employees too, right? What are people that are applying, why they're applying? I think strategically knowing that and applying that once they enter the door and on the ongoing basis too. For a small operator, like I said, right, we try to pay above minimum wage, and we always do. But we have a roadmap towards that as well.
Nice.
Right. So and knowing that, being blunt with your employees about that is great. Or saying, hey, if you dabble these more responsibility, this is how you get paid. And we actually, before I came to Nax, one of our employee was learning to be a barber, right? And we encouraged that and actually bought it supported them throughout their journey. And we were celebrating that by giving them the tools to be actually a barbershop.
Even though you knew they were about to
leave, instead of being all angry about, hey, they're going to leave us as a 2 weeks notice. We're like, no, we're celebrating you. And we took a picture, the team came and gifted them. And I was like, hey, good luck to you. It's not a, hey, bye, you're not working for us. No. And we had people that, hey, and they still want to work part-time for us, which is great. And some things work out great and they come back. And if they don't, it's an ongoing relation. And a lot of your employees are local too. You want to keep them at least as a customer too, right? Yeah. So my feedback to business operator, know what you are and what you're not, basically.
Yeah. For your internal staff, right? Now let's flip it to the customer experience, right?
Yeah.
How do you keep a consistent customer experience?
Yeah.
You walk into a Buc-ee's, and you recently did that, right?
I did. So I made a video about that.
We're from Texas, so Buc-ee's is like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Their customer experience is phenomenal.
It is.
Brisket comes on, and they just yell brisket on the board, and so like, how are you keeping the customer experience in a small location? Because you don't have a large store. So what are you doing to make sure customers' experience remain consistent across the board?
It's definitely challenging, but I think I can't stress enough the ongoing relationship, communication, and training is crucial. A lot of times, and we're guilty of this, if you look at us 4 or 5 years ago, hey, this is how you run the register, good luck. Right? Kind of thing. Instead of ongoing checks and balances and leveraging AI, audio AI, or anything like that, where you see gaps in training that you could do better. And that's how we look at it, is that where are some areas that we could help our staff to deliver that. And just like with your employees, they should know what you are and what you're not as well. One thing I was doing a Reddit analysis using AI, what are some frustrating things? One of the biggest one that came across surprisingly was whenever a customer walks in, they cannot stand an employee faking a welcome greeting, right? And we will work in our greeting and we say, hey, just be natural and do your thing. Don't do anything that doesn't feel authentic, right? Yeah. And you could tell if you go to a certain, brand and they're like, hey, would you like to buy this at the end or donate to something? It feels very
it feels
forced.
Scripted.
So small things like that, details matter, right? So the time the employee walks in through the door, even when they start seeing, actually, when the employee starts making their mind to leave the house and they're on social media, we're thinking that deep where that's when they're making up their mind, what are we doing about it? Yeah. And then when they see our price sign versus the grass that's on the ground, and when they walk in, how they're greeted and how they're signed off, the details for us matters, and we know all that.
No, awesome. Well, thank you, Baba, for joining us on the podcast. I know
Thanks
Nax
for having me.
2020, of course, man. I know Nax 2025 has already been a great show. Today's day 2. Can't wait to see you next year
Yeah.
and y'all in Vegas, my favorite venue.
Yes.
Um,
We'll be there.
So we'll see you guys in Vegas next year, and I will also see you on the next episode of Margin Mindset by Modisoft. Thank you, guys.